I was going to make a video about why YouTubers are quitting. And I was going to talk all about how wedding filmmaking is just as hard, but better because it lasts forever. And instead, my technology failed me. My camera wouldn't load on the screen, and I couldn't see myself through my teleprompter, and the fucking app was failing. And so, man, I just sat here for the last hour trying to troubleshoot an app and then moved all my shit. And now I'm basically in a terrible mood. I'm fucking pissed. My stuff didn't work. So what I did as a guitarist was better than what I'm doing as a filmmaker. As a guitarist, I was always ready. In fact, my guitar is set up in the other room right now. All I have to do is turn it on and play. Now, this is a little bit harder of a sport. I have to have lights and camera and audio, and I have to be in this creative mood. I can't just turn it on and press play. It could be argued that one of the reasons I didn't have success as a guitar player was because basically we didn't spend enough time in the studio. And so every time we played guitar, every time we jammed, we were rehearsing instead of creating. And if we would have been in the studio, we would have recorded something that lasts forever. So I'm not trying to make a comparison about difficulty, and there's a lesson to be learned there as well. But what I am saying is that I wasn't ready. And I think as a creative, we need to be ready to create. If you listen to Going Pro by Stephen Pressfield, he talks about having a clean space and making room for the muses. And if you listen to, I actually learned this from Eyal Levi or something like that from Creative Live. He's a metal musician. And his philosophy was always have your guitar plugged in, always be ready to rock. You never know when inspiration's going to strike. And sometimes you can't always sit down and record when you're in the zone, right? Sometimes you have to script it out and plan things out. But I always find myself getting lost in that process of perfectionism. And also, my strong suit is freestyling. 12 years old, I used to write rap music in the middle of the night. And I have pages and notebooks and binders. And that's where my strength lies. I was a performer for years, teaching paintings and being on stages. So for me, my strong suit is public speaking. Just straight up being able to deliver right to camera like this. And I have to be in a zone. And while I don't have to be in a zone, I can pretty much do it whenever. But in order to actively capture the topic and the things that go along with it in a way that's useful for an audience, I'm going to want to do it while it's top of mind. And if you're not ready for your camera, if you're not ready to show up, sit down, press record. I mean, I do have the equipment, but I had too much technical stuff in the way, and it was ruining my outcome. So I'll have to figure out another way to handle that. But until then, just try and be ready. And oftentimes, honestly, one of the methods of being ready is simplification. That's what held me back here, is that I have my prompter on, but I don't use a fucking prompter. I speak freely. It was from a client that I had the prompter on. So why didn't I put my gear away? And why isn't my software working? Canon, you fucking piece of shit. I'm just mad at Canon about that one. But it doesn't matter. I don't need to plug it in, and I don't need to see it on my computer, and it doesn't matter if it's synced. All I have to do is press a couple buttons. And so who cares? Just make it simple. Just do what's going to work and have it ready for when you need it, because it's going to hit you, whether you're a painter or a singer, or even if you have some business idea, if you're looking at it from an entrepreneur perspective and you understand the solution, the less friction that you can have between your idea and implementing that solution or that offer or whatever it is, internal or external, you're going to be a lot better off when there's less friction in the way. So that's my lesson for the day, is remove the friction and be ready for the creativity to hit, especially because I work best on the fly. So I need to be able to give myself the opportunity to work on the fly. So little lesson, and it's going to be very raw, but that's what held me back today, and I'll try again tomorrow.